and how I stand. So that, and also my voice is very deep. So it's being more affirmative. And I've learned that how to be affirmative the right way without coming off as commanding.
Yeah, that was something else that I definitely had to learn.
Yeah, I think women teach you how to do that. I think women women are great teachers. It's just we got to know what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Women function differently than men, obviously. So we got to take that into consideration. But I mean, going to school, women teachers, I think it's ironic because I respected more women teachers that I had versus the male teachers that I had.
Yeah, I mean, when I had a first male teacher, it was like I was kind of. It was odd for me, but it took a while for me to get used to. But like, it's I don't know. It's I don't know if it's my preference or it's just wired differently. But like, yeah, I definitely agree with that statement.
Isn't March like Women's Appreciation Month? I don't know. Someone told me that. I could be wrong. Yeah, I got a thumbs up. I think March is Women's Appreciation Month. So I think women need to be appreciated daily.
Yeah.
I don't think we should like monthly things. I just think it's kind of like
it should be just in general.
Just life. Take away all the everything and just be in existence, live life. But I think women drive the world. I honestly am a firm believer that women run the world because half the things men do, I'm gonna say 3/4 of what men do are motivated through women. And if you're in denial of that, I want you to sit down and really think about what you do on a daily basis and why you do what you do on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
Chances are because of a woman.
Yeah, I mean,
you're looking. D-Will's looking at me like, nah, bro. He said he don't know. D-Will's too focused on his life, which is good. But that's my observation. That's my opinion.
Especially hip hop. I mean, hip hop was created, for a woman.
Was it really?
Yeah, because going back, I think, just going short into the story, the famous, story as far as there was no music, and dude was supposed to do a birthday party for his sister, so dude got the two team turntables, made a mixtape, and boom.
Music. Shout out to women out there in the world watching this. I hope you watch it. I hope you guys appreciate what we're saying. Thank you.
Yep. One love.
One love. Anything else a woman taught you? Like, how about ex-girlfriends?
Well, besides...
because there's always good and bad teaching.
Well, let's focus on the good. I suppose.
Don't let your sweater out to your girlfriend, especially if she breaks up with you, because you're not.
Oh, never, never. I remember my first girlfriend. She kind of said I'm taking this Kurt Cobain shirt. I was like, no, you're not. And that was the one thing I made sure that didn't leave.
Did it
especially leave? Yeah, because there's a couple times where before she left my house, I would look at my dresser, I hope she didn't take my Kurt Cobain. And there was one time where it was kind of ironic. A few weeks, she broke up with me. So I hid my, before that actually happened, something told me to hide my Kurt Cobain shirt. Because every time she would come, that was the first thing she would go, is put on my Kurt Cobain shirt.
She only wanted you for the t-shirt, man. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
But going back into the good aspect, it definitely made me really evaluate myself. As far as what I'm looking for in a relationship or what I need to do better as an individual, as a man, as a person. Just in general or what do they expect, in a relationship. And that's one of the reasons why I purposely chose to stay out of the dating world and just focus on myself. So, no, I won't, focus or take on the negative aspect of it.
I heard there's a special lady out there. That's all I'm gonna say.
So, but yeah.
She knows who she is, right back there. I'm just kidding.
No,
Oh, he said no. Dang. I'm just, I hope she watches this and I hope she knows who I'm talking about, right, Vector? No.
no. All right. So, what do you? What your turn? What's your
We gotta
subject?
change the subject real fast, don't we?
Mm.
So I want to talk about a couple of things. I think the biggest thing is there's a lot that's going on right now in this freaking world. I think
Mm-hmm.
the government being shut down is one of the few things, and obviously I want to talk about how 21 Savage was just arrested, detained by ICE. Is it arrested or detained? Is it
Detained.
detained, right? Because you're not
Detained.
arrested, you're detained by ICE. Or was he? I don't. It was either or the or. I really didn't check up too much on it, but I watched the posting of it all, and then also Blueface was just detained as well for having gun possessions, something like that.
Mm.
Now that I do this podcast, like I actually watch what's going on in the because I guess I want to talk about it more because it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I'm not mistaken, the government was reopened recently, but it was possible that it shut down yesterday. I'm not too sure on that. I just started a new job.
Last I checked, the 15th.
Wait, we have a computer here, so we got to check the facts before I go off on a tangent. So, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, last I checked, it was temporarily open up until the 15th.
It's still shut down.
So it's still shut down.
I don't know. Okay, so how are we gonna start this? And then also there's another individual who just surfaced on the internet. Social media is interesting. The internet's freaking crazy. So there's this other individual. I forgot what state he's from. White male. Talk about how the LGBTQ. Sorry if I pronounced this wrong. The LGBTQT, the community is how do I say it properly? LGBTQ community. I think yes, that's how I think. Question mark. No. Wait, no. Well, the community, apparently this individual was stating that that community in the modern era of politics is considered a threat, and he compared it to the Ku Klux Klan, which was kind of interesting. His whole thing was they're not I see it because it's like if you don't agree with us, we're gonna disagree with you, and there's gonna be a lot of commotion, which I get and I don't get. It's just a lot. My biggest thing right now is he was saying that the reporter had asked him, "You had a beautiful boy and a beautiful daughter. What if one day they grew up and they were gay?" And he said, to cut it short, he said, "I'm gonna see if they can swim with the fish." And we all know what that means. We're gonna let them see if they can swim with the fish. So in a sense, it's murder if it ever got to the point, if he was serious about it. And he looked like the type to be really serious about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's scary because I'm a firm believer that if any human being identifies with whatever human being identifies with, you should let that human being be within existence of their own, because isn't that what America is about?
Mm-hmm.
Your rights as an individual to be who you want to be. But we got people who are so caught up on the idea that this is their territory or this is their rite of passage. And I'm a firm believer that's totally wrong.
Yeah.
There's a lot of studies and scientific facts that prove that the white male is not who they think they are. And that's just that. But then we got Donald Trump, and it's scary because there's, first and foremost, if America is truly a business, which in my opinion it is, because why do we all have taxes, social security numbers?
It's fucking corporate America.
It is. It's a corporation. Obviously, if it wasn't a corporate, why is Donald Trump, who is technically considered a businessman, running
a country?
And
letting certain things get away.
You know what bothered me the other day is because it's a tradition when whoever wins a national title will, whether that be on the college level or on the pro level, will go to the White House and be fed.
Oh yeah, yeah. I seen that post and just reading some of people's comments. Like, oh, I was told that they should be grateful. And I was like, but
No,
still,
no.
like, no, that's cheap.
It's how are we? What example are we setting if we're considered quote unquote the best country in the world?
Yeah.
How are we? And there's a tradition of people going to the champion, the winner of the title game, going to the White House and being fed, being taken care of. I think they were fed McDonald's,
Yeah. Like McDonald's, Wendy's.
huh? It was just
Just
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
And it's ironic too because Donald Trump is not a very healthy individual.
Yeah.
And what made it even more ironic, it's we have a diabetes issue, we have a lot of issues with health, yet we're openly promoting killing ourselves through McDonald's, through foods like this on a national level
Yeah.
with these
Like,
athletes who probably don't eat McDonald's. I mean, if they're at a D1 school, I'm pretty sure they're getting fed properly with their school and the money the school has.
yeah.
All of a sudden, you're gonna go to no. They probably do eat McDonald's, but I know some schools have the money to take care of their athletes, especially if you're winning a title game. Especially if you just won a title game. Especially if you're what school was it? Oh, no, I don't even know what school it was, but I'm pretty sure they have they don't eat McDonald's unless the linemen do. I don't know. It's just I don't think you should be eating McDonald's. That's something
Yeah.
I'm
And
passionate
he
about.
tried to use the excuse for like, oh, well, we can afford a chef. The government shut down. Yeah, the government shut down because of you. You helped initiate it.
And then the what else was there? Oh well, that's the biggest thing for me right now. It's we have oh man, I don't even know if I have a kid, I hope they don't want to run for president anymore. Donald Trump ruined that dream for my kid. I'm just kidding. I think it's alarming because I've always told my friends this. I'm one thing I love about Donald Trump is the fact that he gave certain individuals the courage to be able to speak freely. And I think that's cool because now we truly get to see we see what's really been there. And now all of a sudden these people are like, oh my God, I didn't know about that. Oh no shit.
Yeah, no shit. But for me, it's always been there. It
Oh
just
yeah.
people have just been real quiet about it. But now that this Trump is running his mouth,
You can't be quiet about anything anymore. Social media is if every all these candidates or people in legislative, how do you say it properly? Legislative?
yeah, legislative.
They're all these things that they did in the past are coming up and haunting them.
Mhm.
Obviously, you heard about well, the guest who I wanted here to be here today, he's not here, obviously, as you could tell. But I'm gonna talk about that too. A lot of it, they wore the blackface.
Yeah,
They painted themselves black at a party, and then they interviewed him, and he was like, "I've done a lot of things in my past, but that was not me at this party. But on another because on another event, blah 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 blah." And I was like, "Damn, like really, like you really did that." And now it's coming back to haunt you. Now you're sorry. Nah, you did that, and that doesn't make sense to me.
yeah.
You look confused. Well, I was about to talk about that too. I was about to get to Gucci too. That's what they Rick, he was gonna be the guest. He runs the Barely Broke sweater that I wear, the Black Love Brown Pride sweater. So Gucci was just in the news for their blackface. I think it goes up to right here, right?
Yeah,
It's like a mask.
yeah, it's a mask.
So obviously it's black with big lips. And Gucci at that time, before that happened, was under a lot of slander through the Inland Empire community because, excuse me, sorry, one of the creators behind the brand Barely Broke LA dropped the line in 2016 that I think we could pull it up here if we send it up. If I send D Will the pictures, I think it could pull up on the screen. Can we do that? I mean, if not, we'll do it in a post. We'll chop this up, put it in a post. In their 2016 spring edition of a sweater, Barely Broke, dropped a sweater with the fields of strawberries, and it said "Born of an Immigrant," a black leather jacket. Under the G in immigrant was capitalized and had an underline. Fast forward to 2019, and Gucci is notorious for this. A lot of big brands are notorious for taking true creative original pieces and just fine tuning something that's not so obvious, but that is obvious. You could tell you got it from somebody else, but just
Mm-hmm.
because of your Gucci and you could do it, you could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Gucci took that sweater and dropped it in their 2019 catalog. Same type of strawberries, just not so many. And the G under the Gucci had the same underline. So now they're targeted for that. And just after that, they did the blackface. And now they're taking on the backlash of it all. And I think culture appropriation is big. I think the hip hop culture, the African culture, the black community, they need to be respected more because a lot of mainstream businesses take from them and they're not given the respect that they deserve.
Right.
And I think that's something that even it's been going around forever. And now we with Donald Trump, we see it too. Oh, we see it more and more. So I think it's something that the community, the young community, I don't even say minorities anymore because are we the minority anymore? I don't know. We need to do a better job of coming together and supporting each other because if we all there's a lot more of us versus them. Whoever them is to your dialogue, you could take it for what it is. If we understood the power that we, the people, do have, we could really resurface the whole country, the whole globe if we wanted to. Because if we realize that due to the government being shut down, now if we look at the larger scale of things, if the government has been shut down, how many people are not being paid?
Mm-hmm.
How many people are getting evicted? How many people don't have food on their table? How many kids are starving? Flint, Michigan still doesn't have clean water. Now we got people who are dealing with the backlash of somebody wanting a wall to be built so damn bad that now we have people in this country that he's supposed to protect are probably dying, don't have a job, their kids are starving. And then people who are already on government benefit, such as EBT, such as Medi-Cal, they're dealing with the backlash of that because their only source of food is now gone. And then the scary part is the food we eat. How much of the food we eat is really even good now?
Yeah.
So it's like
If it's not processed.
it's like a chain reaction now because now we're dealing with the consequences of this country being the country that it is that wants the dollar. Because the other countries, I was told, and you could look it up. I probably should do some more research before I go and talk about this. They look at the world so different than we do. Over here, it's like you work your 9 to 5. You don't have time for lunch. You don't have time for this. You're working. Then you got to take your kids to school. You got to do this. You got to do this. Other countries, they have time for lunch, breakfast. They sit down and they eat together. This country, it's just because everybody's so here. There's no really
And
time.
demanding.
There's really no time for sit down, relax, breathe. Other countries is so boom, 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 so calm. This country is like, damn. Always, what I got to do next? What I got to do now? Oh, this bill. Oh, I want to live here, but I got to generate this much revenue from this job that I'm here for 12
X amount
hours.
this hours.
Yes, X
and
amount.
overtime.
Overtime, yet I have this house that I'm supposed to live at that I got to pay these bills, this bill, that bill. I got to do my laundry. I got to do this. I got to do that. And I don't get a day off. And I don't got time for lunch, but I have, but then you get why we have cancer, why we have diabetes, why we have people overweight. It's just the way we
Blood
live.
pressure.
Blood pressure, high blood pressure. The way
Anxiety.
we live, the way we live in this country is not sustainable. It's not at all. It's pretty much we're working ourselves in not into much depth. We're working ourselves to death because we can't even enjoy our labor properly.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't Social Security about to die? Isn't Social Security about to like run up? Something like that. That's what they've been saying for so long.
It's definitely, you can't live off of it anymore.
No, you can't. I feel I'm a firm believer that the government does what it's supposed to do, but I believe the people itself need to come together and really lead. And I think if we were to, it'd be cool. Imagine if like there's a society of people where we come together and we create. I mean, I don't know if we could do it on a large scale because there's so much, because we don't have the weaponry to combat the government, right? But imagine if one day you have your own let's say this community in San Bernardino, there's like a 2-3 mile block radius, and they came together in their own community and they not dictated, but appointed certain people to do this. This side of the block is gonna be in charge of agriculture, meaning
Hmm.
like food, stuff like that. This side of the block will be in charge of gathering this, and this side of the block will be in charge of this. Like imagine if we went back to hunter and gatherer days where every man rules for himself, the government's not in charge. Imagine that was gonna happen. That'd be crazy. I think we got 7 minutes left. Yeah, 7 minutes left. I think it's interesting. There's a lot of things we could talk about when it comes to the government. I myself, I have a I think because my dad's an illegal immigrant. So when it comes to something talking about getting the illegals out of here, that hits home.
Yeah, same here.
That
Like,
hits
I
me hard.
mean, my mom was a Leo immigrant, and she, became a citizen. Just hearing the comments and just people's just ignorant thoughts, like it's not mind boggling, but it gets me infuriated. Where like I can't even read the comments because I get really upset. Where
And
it's like, man,
it's crazy because there's a lot of kids who are Caucasian who live in different various parts of the states who are brought up with this idea of hate because you can't teach you teach hate.
yeah,
Kids don't know that hate. Kids are
you weren't born into
You
hate.
weren't born into hate. You were born without knowing. Then your parents, your family, your environment, the TV, internet,
Situation.
situation reprograms everything. So when you look at that and videos of young individuals who are white supremacists and do that, it's very alarming because then we see a lot of it has to do with just things that were done in the past because history repeats itself.
Yeah,
So now
and
we got a bunch of young individuals, and it's interesting because it's like how it's like imagine a 7-year-old coming up to you and saying, "I'm gonna kill you. Get the hell out of my country." Well, how do you as a grown man how do you engage that?
yeah,
'Cause huh? Yeah, it happens
yeah.
all over the world. So how does one? That's never happened to me, so I can't answer that. But imagine that situation where a 7-year-old comes up to you and starts going off on you, talking about this, talking about that. You need to get out of this country. You're an illegal immigrant. You're illegal. You don't belong here. This is my land. Like it's like, damn, like you really are taught that at a young age.
Yeah, and I mean, it's unfortunate. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What? Oh shoot.
Hmm.
It's crazy, man. This world we live in, I think on a large I think I wanna would like to say within the next like I don't know. I mean, will things change? I would hope so
I hope
because
so, but it's
humanity is really
y-
scaring me. That's why I really don't watch the news. I try my best to stay away from everything, but with social media, it's always going to be in your face. And obviously, with this podcast, responsibility of keeping up to date with education or the current moments or
the current events.
current events, it's a big thing. Because I personally love to stay out of it. But I think we, with this and with the artistry that we do, we don't have to do it. But it's
But
like
it's almost like
it's like an
it's for me. It's like a sense of duty.
oh yeah, it's an unspoken responsibility that a lot of people would love to do, but wouldn't want to talk about it. So I think that's something that you and I we both share that, and that's why I enjoy doing this with you, especially dear Will, because we the hip hop culture itself is so influential on all levels that we were talking about because the track team I coach now, we're talking about this new cat who's coming up who killed his whole friends. He made that song. I don't know if it like homicide something.
Oh, I heard about it and it ended up happening.
It's
And
crazy.
yeah,
Gotta be careful what you're listening to. But if I'm not mistaken, we got 3 minutes left, so I'm good on that. Just wrap it up.
yeah. And let's wrap it up. I mean, again, for those that are watching, thanks for tuning with us. Uh, uh, Go ahead and list your plugins for where you can get your workout needs.
Oh yeah. If you need to come and get in good shape, like this gentleman right here,
Mm.
Vector, come find us at New Age Athletics. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram. Actually looking for morning clients from 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9. I need my mornings filled up.
And then, of course, you can always find us at Untapped Hip Hop, and that's from YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook. Beyond that, that is it. We thank you again for teaching with us. All right. Peace.